Greetings, Commanders! Well, welcome to a game theory video. In my last video, I talked about what we need to do to fix the Galactic Battle. And one of my, cornerstones about fixing Galactic Battle has always been making Tier 1 worth 0 points. And that means Rangers, that means Yetis, that means Hummingbirds. Now, stat-wise, I think Hummingbirds are stronger. They kind of feel like a Tier 1.5 unit, but let's ignore that. The whole point of my argument was that we need to make it so that Walker Commanders and Airship Commanders can use their Tier 1 units because Infantry Commanders have an obvious advantage by being able to use their skills in Ranger fights because Rangers give 0 points in Galactic Battle. Well, I've had some time to think about that, and I figured out the main problem with our game and the scoring system, I think. So here's a problem. I don't know if it's the main problem. I want you guys to think about what the Ranger is. And before I go deeper into this, I want to touch on a comment from last week's video. Mario Kobos says, I hope Seven Pirates realizes that Melt isn't just one player. He's the voice of most of the mid-spenders. Myself, I have spent north of 10,000 in 8 months. Melt is telling Seven Pirates what most of us are feeling. If I quit this game, I will not return to it, as I and a lot of others did with Pixonix's walking war robots. When customers pay thousands of real dollars to get T9 only to see it used against T12, they will quit in the next year. We aren't asking for the game to be free, but just not a total scam. Get the money while you can, operation. Thanks, Melt, for, and the comment goes on, and I probably should have read it. Oh, here it is. Thanks, Melt, for giving a voice. Next time, we'll probably vote with our dollars. Okay, so, veiled threat. But what Mario's saying, it kind of made me realize there's a lot of viewers on this channel. You don't think about it, but when a video gets 2,000 views, people aren't sitting down watching this 10 times in a row. Maybe a couple people watch it twice, but we're talking hundreds and hundreds of players that spend north of $100 to $500 a year on this game, if not $1,000 plus a year on this game. And this is where we congregate, in this channel, in these comments, in the line community. And the ideas I have really aren't purely mine. Plenty of my ideas come from interacting with the community every day. And I ask for people to interact with my channel. It's not just a YouTube gimmick. Put it in the comments below. This stuff keeps the channel going. This keeps the community going. It keeps ideas brewing. So it comes back to Rangers. And I was saying, we need to make Tier 1 all 0 points. So the reason that's a very difficult thing to do is because of how power is calculated. So in Galactic Battle, you don't get points for killing troops. You get points for taking away your opponent's power. And that matters because you can't just write a code all of a sudden that walkers now give 0 points. You can't just do that. You'd have to say, whenever a person gains points, 1 point for killing 1 walkers, even though your opponent did lose 1 point for that 1 walker, credit them back those points. Or don't take those points away. There's a weird bit of code that have to be done. I don't know how the coding works, but I do know that in the Galactic Battle rules, it very clearly states that in order to score points, you have to take away points from your opponent. So if you go to details, right at the top, a question mark, it says, point rules. You will gain 1 point every time you decrease one power of enemy. That's why the Ranger is so powerful, right? On Galactic, or on Killing Event Weekend, the Ranger is what everyone uses because nobody wants to hit tiles, lower their shield just to kill Rangers because they don't give 0 points. In order to score points, you have to take away power from your opponent, which makes it really hard to recode the Galactic Battle because the base point system is built into the game like this. So fundamentally what we have here is we have a broken unit. In fact, the Ranger is the most important unit in the game by far, hands down. There is no more important cornerstone unit in this entire game because of its unique ability to be worth 0 points in Galactic Battle and on Kill Event Weekend. It's unique in that sense that honestly, like a Tier 3 Walker, nothing memorable about it. Tier 3 Infantry actually is the hardest hitting per capita. But then like Tier 10 Infantry, it's like the hardest hitting until Tier 11 comes around for like Vega and breakdown skills because it's infantry and it hits hard. But from a game theory perspective, the Ranger is the most important unit in the game, and mastering how this one works with the code, how this unit works with certain commanders and skills, really does define how good of a player you are and how well you know your way around this game. If you know a lot about the Ranger, you could talk for days about this game. But essentially, this is the broken unit. It is, because it's worth 0 points. So on one hand, I say, how do you fix this unit? Well, first off, the question is, do you need to fix the unit? Yes, I think we need to fix this unit because the main issue we're having right now is participation concerns in Galactic Battle because of the value of points and how the other equivalent troops in this tier give away points while infantry do not. And commanders that don't play infantry are punished in a way because they don't get to do the low tier, low risk fights until it just immediately goes to high tier. And when it goes to high tier, all the players in between that don't have the highest tier, anyone that's still on tier 7, 8, 9, whatever you're on, if someone in your guild has tier 11, tier 12, they should be the only one risking heavy marches. Unless you have small skirmishes going on the side or you made an arrangement with the other guild, fact is really the 1 or 2 top players are doing all the fighting for Galactic Battle. And there's a little bit of room there if you're still playing with Rangers, but since tier 1 Walker and airships are worth points, those guys don't get to play. Okay, we'll rein it back a little bit. So yes, there is a need to change this unit. Is there an obvious solution? I don't think so. Because like I said, changing tier 1 to be all worth 0 points changes the fundamental mechanics of how the game is played. And that means kill event weekend. That means the scoring points of Galactic Battle. Now, is it possible for them to change the scoring? Absolutely. Of course it is. I don't know how difficult it is. But there needs to be an urgency for them to dedicate the time to make that kind of a change. So do we have that kind of urgency? Well, I think so, right? I started this channel saying there's obviously a problem with tier 12. I started this video obviously saying there's a problem with tier 12. Mario was saying that people agree with me and that we are looking for a change. And Galactic Battle Season 7 is here. They didn't fix anything, yet 2 weeks ago they were asking for our advice on how to fix the game. So, yeah, there's an urgency. Yes, there's an option. So what's the real solution? How do we fix the Ranger problem? Do we just say, okay, there is no such thing as 0 point fights. Everything is worth points. That means Rangers are worth points now. So the scoring system isn't parallel, right? It's not like a Yeti's worth 2, a Ranger's worth 1, an airship is worth 10 points. That's not how it works. Because then a tier 9 infantry would only be worth 150 when it should be worth way more. And it is. So the points do not scale with the unit value. But it should kind of base off tier. I've actually never written that down. I wonder if it bases off solely off tier. Like if you kill one tier 9 unit, it's 1,000 points. If it's a tier 9 airship, it's 3,000 points because it's 3 times bigger than an infantry. I could see that. I don't know. We'll have to look into that. But the answer is that Rangers shouldn't be 0 punishment for dying. There should be a punishment there. And if not, then airships should be 0 punishment as well. You can't have both. You can't have one and not both. So we either make Rangers worth points or make all tier 0 or make all tier 1 worth no points at all. Yeah. And that's it. There is no simple solution, right? Is there? Am I missing a glaring, obvious solution? It feels like we have a problem, clearly defined problem, lack of participation, lack of variety, and an issue with this 0 point troop. That's the problem. So what's the solution? Either get rid of the 0 point troop or make a couple of other troops 0 points as well. Well, if you get rid of the 0 point troop, that makes it so that only the best players with the players with the best research and the best gear should be fighting, which I don't think is that big of a deal. But then I don't know. It's such a complicated issue, man. This is why it's a game theory video, right? Like, you have to understand from the developer perspective. They've already got a golden goose, right? They've already got a game that makes them money. If they don't do anything, they will continue to make money. Will it eventually fizzle out? Of course. That's why games get updates. That's why they need to make a change. But at the same time, if you change something too much, then it's not the same game anymore. And you might start a chain reaction of players quitting or complaining or being pissed off that they paid all this money to take their account and their characters in a certain direction, and then now the game has changed it. I could see why they were hesitant, why they're always hesitant to make big changes, especially from the boss perspective. You have a lot of young guys, a lot of guys developing the game with plenty of big ideas, and they've heard so many good ideas and so many bad ideas, it's hard to tell the difference now. So what do? I don't know. Should they do any changes at all? Yeah, they should. So, I don't know, man. I feel like this is like another progression towards poking 7 pirates with a stick. Like, hey, these are warnings from your player base. We're warning you that we want new, different playing content. It doesn't need we don't need more free stuff. The Time and Space War, that's just a Farmville thing. I mean, yeah, it helps a little bit. Thank you for new content, but this is not something I'm going to log in to play. This is going to be something I log in to just collect the thing and turn it into the thing that gets me to the next thing. And that brings me no joy playing that part of the game anymore. Maybe for like 2 minutes. So we need new, better, compelling content. This is the stick poking them. There's a video, I just feel it, like I still have incomplete thoughts as I go down this path, this conversation with you. And I know that there's going to be eventually like, all right, we've talked about Rangers, we've talked about Galactic Battle Royals. Here's the real heart of the issue. We're getting to the heart of the issue. If you think you have the heart of the issue, put it in the comments below. If you have maybe a step to get us to that final, heart of the issue, put it in the comments below. That's what we need, guys. That's what we need right now. Let's do this. What do we need to do to make our game better? And reasonable things to do. Something where a developer goes, oh, I could see that being practical. We could pull that off. What are your ideas? Ask a guildmate. Ask a friend. What do you want to see the game turn into? Where do you want to see the game go from here? Because the way it's currently going, at 1.6 million leadership, a year from now, what are we going to be at? 3.2 million leadership max? And these players are going to lose an entire march, an entire army on accident by sending tier 1 or max tier. Their losses are cataclysmic. The tiles are all level 15 still. They haven't given us 16, 17, 18 tiles. There's no way to get resources faster. Some of the events are more generous. Yeah, we can get more speed ups on the weekend, but nothing to the effect of how big the game has gotten, how wide open you can spend on it, and how big the mistakes can get. The ability to log in one afternoon on accident, or maybe having too many drinks, and to attack somebody and accidentally lose your entire army is game changing. You could have been playing this game for a year and have $10,000 in and make one bad decision, and in 3 seconds be speed hit, get totally zeroed or something like that. It can happen. It can totally happen, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Like, you're too far into this game. You're too deep into this game for it to just be thrown away like that. So it's super high risk, super high stakes, and that's a bad part of the game. And the further this game goes, the more there is to lose. And that's part of the reason people keep coming back, because they feel like there's a sense of value here. They put a lot of time and money into it. But at the same time, they're only one big hit away from just never logging in again and just trying out a new app. So thanks, Mario, for putting that comment out there and kind of reminding me. And then hopefully reminding you guys, like, what do you guys want to see from this game? Like I said in the other video, I don't like to pester 7 Pirates too much, but I think if we don't start pushing for what is best for this game, we're going to miss an opportunity while they're listening. I still think they're listening. 2 weeks ago, they straight up asked us for help. So what do you want to see? Take a second, put it in the comments below, upvote the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon if you want to see new videos, and tell your guildmates about it, because frankly, we spend a lot of time and money on this game. We probably should be a little more interactive with our community. So join the line community as well. It's a good time to plug the line community. The description below. Add me. I will personally invite you to the appropriate channel so that you can interact with other players and subscribers. And that's how we do Arc of War. We do it on YouTube. We do it online. There's a Discord channel for RidiculousBadger. Check him out. Check his YouTube channel out. And that's the end of this video. What should we do to Rangers? Zero out all the points? Take away all tiers 1 values? Or do we make Rangers worth points and somehow change Yeti points? I don't know, guys. We need help, though. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for your input. And then I'm going to take all the best input and hopefully put it together in one big video. Maybe we'll throw some votes together and like have one big idea we push. Instead of pushing 10 ideas at once, let's take the best idea in the comments below. We'll reform it a little bit, and we'll submit just one really good idea. Just push one idea. If you hit them with 10 ideas, they're not going to listen. One good idea. If you think you got it, check the comments below. If it's not there, write it in. If it is there, upvote it. Whew, that's it. End of video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.